Test, 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 test. Alrighty then. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, test one, two. Can you hear me? Hello, test, test. Can you hear me? Test, test, one, two, one, two. Testing, one, two, one, two. Hello, hello. Good enough? Cool. Oh, by the way, that one over there.
Okay, we're gonna get started. We're gonna get started. This is your warning. There's a couple seats up in front. Okay, can everyone find your seat? Great, good job. Okay, we're getting there. Well, I don't want to start it because I don't have Anna up here. Here she comes. All right, I can start once you're here, right? Okay. If everyone could take a seat. Did you guys hear that? We're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you, guys. Can you hear me? No? Well, the light is on. Is this not loud? Can you hear me now? All right, I'll use my outside voice. So welcome. We have a really full room today. I don't think we've ever had this many people in here for a long time. So welcome. We appreciate all of you guys coming. Oh, yeah, you turned it up. We appreciate all of you coming tonight. And so we have the privilege of having one of our own Ladera Vista students, Audrey Nino Franco, to lead us in the pledge this evening. So, Audrey. Thank you so much, Audrey. All right, so we are going to start this evening by putting my glasses on, and then I could see what we're doing this evening. So we have a few recognitions in the room tonight. We are going to go ahead and start with our award-winning national speech and debate team. So Dr. Lee is going to help us, and I do have to put a little plug in here. When we started the speech and debate program here a while back, it was something that we are proud of, and we're so happy to have it. And whenever you talk to a speech and debate student, no matter where you're talking, in any school district, in any state, you always know those students that are in speech and debate. I work with a lot of high school students outside of here, and I can always tell. I always say, "Are you in speech and debate?" And they'll be, "Oh, yeah." So you always know. So I think this program is phenomenal, gives our kids an edge, and it's just so exciting and so wonderful to see. So we're so proud for this evening. So Dr. Lee, go ahead.
Good evening, President Berryman, Board of Trustees, Dr. Bob Pleka, Cabinet, and guests. We are so proud of this moment. With the partnership we have with Advantage Communications, the speech and debate program here in Fullerton has become a signature program. We have grown. We are so proud to state that all 21 sites, including my Connect Academy, are represented in the program. Just this last two events that we've had recently, we had almost 500 participants in our competition. But tonight, we're here to celebrate our national winners. And before we begin, I just have to express my personal thank you and gratitude to our teacher coaches. We're talking endless hours, coaching, being there for our kids. They're as passionate as the students are because they believe in the program. So on behalf of Educational Services in the Fullerton School District, we thank you, coaches. Without you, we cannot do this. Yes, applaud. Sincerest gratitude to our partners, Advantage Communications, Audrey and Sal. Audrey's right there in the back, and we're going to honor you in a minute, but we cannot have gotten this lucky to have found such great partners. We see eye to eye in what's good for kids, and therefore it makes the work that much more easy. And so we thank you, we applaud you, and we celebrate you. But here we're going to turn the tables over to our students, because tonight is for you. And we want to, without further ado, I want to give this mic over to Emily McDougall. She's our program coordinator for educational services representing speech and debate, and Cindy Lee Artosa, who's supporting ELA as well as speech and debate. Emily, if you wouldn't mind taking over, and you're across the room, so there we go.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so as Dr. Lee mentioned, our teams are bigger than ever before. We have our amazing multilingual students competing in events in Spanish interpretation. We have students competing and becoming tournament champions at the school level and at the individual level as recently as these last 2 weekends. And the skills they are developing, confidence, persistence, the ability to command a room, I think it speaks volumes. So at this time, we'd also like to honor and recognize Coach Audrey Young. She is one of our district directors from Advantage. This partnership with Advantage, yes. And Sal Tinajero, who is on his way, but yes. Yes, so we would like to recognize and honor Coach Sal Tinajero as well, because this, thank you. This partnership is, yes, picture. Oh, yes! As if on cue. So we're so lucky to partner with you, that to have our students work with coaches who have competed at the highest levels, and knowing that Fullerton School District is working with the best of the best just makes me feel very good. So thank you for all you do for our students. At this time, we would like to honor our national team. So what we'll do is we'll have the teacher coach from the school come on up, and then we will present the national team members and their awards. So we will start with Fissler. So could we, sure. You want to do the rows? Sure. So we'll start with Fissler. So if we could have the teacher coaches Stephanie Yee, Nikki Mahar, who's on Nikki Mahar, and Emily Hancock, who is on her way. If there's or a representative, I know that Dr. Benaras here as well. So come on up. Thank you. Okay. Competing in humorous interpretation and declamation, we have Alexis Hernandez. Competing in informative prose and storytelling, we have Sarah Yu. Thank you. Riva Sobdi was top 16 in storytelling and a semifinalist in informative speaking. And then you can go ahead and walk down.
Over here.
We're gonna get. Okay. Ella Kim was 4th place in humorous interpretation and top 16 in program oral interpretation. Sophia Gentile was 2nd place in original poetry. Now that means she wrote her own original poem and competed this. And 6th place in pro-con challenge. And let's go ahead and give Fissler students a round of applause. Okay. Congratulations. Now we would like to have the teacher coaches from Ladera Vista. And also we had feeder schools. So Orangethorpe and Richmond also had students competing at the national level. And they were represented by Ladera Vista because they compete at the middle school tournament when they're 6th graders. So if we could please have Amy Chung, Stephanie Park, Ivy Nina Franco, and Pam Keller come on up. Thank you. Audrey Nina Franco from Richmond, representing and competing in original oratory, storytelling, and prose. Costa Gomez Bueno competed in declamation, impromptu, and pro-con challenge. From Orangethorpe, I know I saw her here, Zoe Karaya competed in declamation, poetry, and informative speaking. Molly Cooper coming in with the top 16 in program oral interpretation and a quarter finalist in original oratory. Maria Lorraine Mercurio was top 16 in program oral interpretation and top 16 in prose. And Liliana Hoffman with 6th place in prose. Let's go and give a hand for all of our students representing Ladera Vista. Okay. If I could have the teacher coaches representing Laguna Road, so Carol Ann Curley, Amanda Gable, and I know Lynn Frucci is here. Claire Yu, yes. Claire Yu competed in prose, dramatic interpretation, and storytelling. Claire Yu's here. Shreya Gandhi was a semifinalist in impromptu speaking. Janice Kim, 15th place in program oral interpretation. Caitlin Choi, 13th place in declamation. Annette Lee, 4th place in poetry. And let's give another hand for our Laguna Road students. So these were 6th graders competing at the middle school level. Now, if we could have the teacher coach from Parks, Linda Wingfield, come on up. I know she's here. Saw her. There she is. Great. Competing in informative declamation and storytelling, Audrey Lee. Audrey Lee is here. Competing in extemporaneous, pro-con challenge, and Lincoln Douglas, Cameron Kim. Competing in prose, storytelling, and dramatic interpretation, Yaretsi Martinez. Lily Kim was a quarterfinalist in original oratory. Haley Yu was top 16 in poetry. Ashna Dayalani was 13th place in program oral interpretation and a quarterfinalist in original oratory. You can see many of our students participated in multiple events at this tournament. Amy Rivera was 6th place in humorous interpretation and 12th place in storytelling. Jane Kwok was 6th place in storytelling and 8th place in prose. I'm sorry, is Corinne Mosqueda here from Sunset Lane? Do we have a teacher coach from Sunset Lane here? Okay. We do have a student who represented Sunset Lane as part of the Parks team. It was Natalie Hong. She was 5th place in prose and top 13 in declamation. Hannah O, 4th place overall in prose. Mahathi Prabhu, 4th place overall in program oral interpretation and an octo finalist in humorous interpretation. Yenna O, 3rd place, original oratory and top 10 in declamation. And we have a national champion, 1st place in Pro-Con Challenge, and top 16 in the Lincoln Douglas debate, and top 16 in poetry, Emily Bleeker. Now, let's give a round of applause to our Parks students, our Parks team. But we have one more thing to acknowledge. Parks was also awarded a National School of Speech Excellence. So they received this trophy, so we can give that to Linda Wingfield if you want to come. Yes, and that's a national award for overall. Sure, yes. Now, if we could try to get a photo with, yes, thank you. Mr. Ling is getting, if we could try to smush as much as possible and get all of our entire national team. Let's go ahead and give them, yes. Yes, we'll leave the teacher coaches up, and then as we say that, let's give one more round of applause to our national team. And I do want to mention that this was, you heard students ranked, right? You'd heard them say is 8th place, 4th place. So those are nationally ranked students. This was a record year for Fullerton School District. Last year, there were 8 students that were nationally recognized. And this year, for the 2022 tournament, we had 12 students that made national ranking. So that's an amazing achievement. Great job. One more round of applause. Now, students, as you leave, there is a cupcake here for you that you can take. Yes. So we would like the teacher coaches to stay behind, and then we're going to have the students go ahead and exit. Exit stage, what is this, stage right? Right here. Thank you and congratulations. Job.
I'm glad you made it. There was a conflicting news. You made it. I need your email so that you can come to our channel. Are you competing or not?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I will. We should say, and it is important to point out, we're going to recognize. You're going next week? Okay, I'm going to say something.
I get to stay behind.
I'll be there. Where are you staying?
I know.
I will be at, make sure you get
I saw you in Audie.
Families, thank you so much. We are going to go ahead and recognize our teacher coaches. Before we do that, before we recognize our teacher coaches,
She's going to take a break. She wants to open her own.
what's that? Before we recognize our teacher coaches, there is one more thing to say. We have these great accolades, and we have all of these wonderful, wonderful awards that our students have won, that our teams have won. But you notice that year after year, they keep showing up, right? They keep showing up, and our students are really finding a place in a community. So thank you for that. All right. Do you want to acknowledge teacher coaches?
All right, parents. As we're wrapping up, we're going to announce our teachers. Announce teacher coaches.
Okay, we're going to recognize our teacher coaches, so everyone pay attention. Pay attention.
Thank you. It's all happy moments. All right. As we all know, this is a celebratory moment, a joyous moment, but we know that this absolutely is not possible without our teachers. And so we do absolutely want to recognize them as well. And so we want to thank them for their efforts, just tirelessly learning the ins and outs of speech and debate. Many of us here as teachers may have not had the experience of being speech and debate, being part of speech and debate. And so there's a lot to learn, and so we want to thank them for that and just the endless amount of time that and the commitment and learning all the logistics. So I'm going to go ahead and announce all the teacher coaches. And teachers, if you are here in the back when I announce your name, come on up forward. All right, for Acacia, we have Coach Nancy Regetz. Sorry, Nancy. For Beechwood, we have Jennifer Min and Katia Guevara. For Commonwealth, we have Judy Knowles and Jody Chavez. And then at Fistler, we had Emily Hancock, Stephanie Yee, and Nikki Mahar. At Golden Hill, Leslie Hernandez. And then at Ladera Vista, we had coaches Amy Chung and Stephanie Park. At Hermosa Drive, we had Coach Jenna Bray and Pamela Zanell. Yay! And then at Laguna Road, we had Amanda Gable, Carol-Ann Curley, and Lynn Frecci. At Maple, we had Coach Carla Ruiz. At Nicholas, we had Coach Musio Vidales. Yay! At Orangethorpe, we had Coach Pan Keller. At Pack Drive, it was Coach Michelle Tina Harrow. At Parks, we had Coach Linda Wingfield. At Raymond, Anita Ramos and Jennifer Yang. At Richmond, Ivy Nino Franco. At Rolling Hills, we had Jody Dyer, Kimberly Cleary Horn. Sunset Lane, Corinne Mosqueda. Valencia Park, Jennifer Saul and Tracy Ramon. And then Woodcrest, Keely Michaels. Thank you, coaches.
Thank you. Thanks again.
Thank you.
This is the time of the meeting where people kind of just start to move out, but feel free to stay.
We did want to thank you, FSD Board, for your faithful support of the program and for believing in our students' voices. Thank you very much.
We thank you guys for all your time. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to our next recognition. We're gonna talk really slow to give people time enough to exit the building or have a seat. Was that a nice way to say that? For those that are listening. Who's got the bottleneck?
Yes, but I'm going to call you, so stand over there.
Feel free to stay. I think it was something we said. I know. Everyone's. What's happening is everyone's moving back too, like the ones that were here. I think so. Are we gonna have a cake? I think we'll still try and have a cake. Okay. All right. Really, people. Okay, we're gonna get started then. Okay. We have a really great presentation. We got some good stuff going on. All right, I think we're almost ready. I'm going to have to come over there and just shoosh some people out. They are. You may celebrate outside if you'd like. Okay. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you. Congratulations. We really appreciate you. Okay, I see the bottleneck. I think it's Sal. There we go. Next transition. This doesn't mean that your award is not any more less important, we promise. It's dark out there. You feel like it's midnight, right? It's like, should be home in bed. Right. Way past his bedtime. Okay. So I know. A blanket or? Okay. Now we have our next award. Dr. Lee?
I love my job.
I know you do, and we love having you up there.
Fullerton School District is pleased to announce that Robert C. Fissler School K-8 and Valencia Park School has been named Apple Distinguished School for 2022 to 2025. This honor is given to schools as a nationwide recognition for continuous innovation in learning, teaching, and the school environment. Apple Distinguished Schools are centers of innovation, leadership, and educational excellence that use Apple technology to inspire creativity, collaboration, and critical thinking. They showcase innovative use of technology in learning, teaching in the school environment, and have documented results of academic accomplishment. And I am so honored to call upon Dr. Guillermo Munoz and Dr. Kimberly Benraw. They're going to come up here and say a few words.
Oh, yay.
Good evening. Thank you so much for acknowledging us tonight. I think for us, for our staff, this recognition, especially now when we were creating the application last year, was very monumentous for us because I think the 3 years or 2.5 years of the pandemic really made us look at technology different. We really needed to use it to survive. We were really consuming it. And I think for us, we wanted to get away from that consumption and really think about how can we go back to having our students be creators and curators. And so when we were putting together our renewal application, we really thought about what is the great work that's happening now? How are we having our students use this Apple platform to really be agents of not just innovation, but we want our kids to be innovators of change in a positive way. So for us, this recognition and this renewal really is something that we're proud of coming out of the pandemic because it also sets the future groundwork of what can be done with this continuous great platform. And the Apple partnership has been amazing. They've been so supportive. They've really been pushing us as not just using our iPads or laptops, but really how can we really utilize the platform to really make change in a bigger global impact. So thank you again for the recognition, our community. It's so ironic because Cher's here and she's a big part of our support, the behind the scenes of making our program happen. So thank you again. So we're really proud of this renewal.
Hello, everyone. Same here with regards to us at Valencia Park. When I got a chance to meet with the staff, last year was my first year, and it was a year that we were asked to take this dive into this application to familiarize ourselves with the school. And the staff thought it'd be cute to say, you should do this all on your own because you're new, and it really gives you a hands-on experience. And the people from Apple, they're very wise, and they know what they're doing. And one of the big things that they were pushing for was collaboration. So at the beginning, I was listening to the staff share, no, it really should be you. And I said, hold on. The very first line in the expectations are to work in collaboration in teams. So they were like, oh, he read the first line. So it was good to see them do that. And after that, their feedback came in, and they did discuss very much like Dr. Benaram mentions, what it was like to enter into what we had, the pandemic, and what learning felt like and looked like. And so the ease of transition from curriculum that's in hardcovers and whatnot to the curriculum being easily accessible technology-wise, from being able to usually use the vernacular that they were already used to. The kids transition rather easily and mightily. And so now that we're coming out very much like our friends from Pfister, they're also looking, how do we incorporate now both? Because there is a certain love of flipping the page in a book. So our application was done with a lot of joy, done with a lot of reflection, done with a lot of consideration for also wanting to make sure that we're doing things that are kind, which is part of our purpose, things that are necessary for our kids to learn and grow and fulfill that gap in learning that we had. So our mitigation of those learning losses are happening through technology and through the use of curriculum, but with a spirit of innovation and joy behind this. So our process was fun. I'm really excited for this recognition for the staff. They're super excited about it as well. And so thank you, everyone. I appreciate this.
Please extend our congratulations to your staff and for all that they do for our students. This does not happen, like you said, doesn't happen with you just writing the application. It's something that everyone works together and our students will benefit.
President Berryman, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Pleca, could we get a picture moment with you in the front?
Certainly. Okay. Now we have the opportunity to continue our recognition. And Dr. Pletka, I'm going to turn this one over to you.
So first of all, I want to, this next award is one that we developed. It's in collaboration with our partners around our core values. And so a few years ago with both CSEA and FETA, really looked at what our core values should be and something that we can commit to and something that we want to be a guiding principle for us. And over the years, we've looked at to say we also work with partners and we work with different people that also exemplify not only these values, but also exemplify and are part of our team, our partners with us. So this particular Circles Award is for collaboration. And so we have a very special partnership and relationship with the police department. It actually started back with Chief Dan Hughes, and I remember back then. And I used to call the police department, even 10 years ago, our guardian angels. And to this day, I would like to say not only is the police department continue to be our guardian angels here, but one man in particular I want to highlight, and that's Chief Dunn, and he has been our guardian angel. I'd like to ask him to come up here. So just to say a few words about the different things that he's done, and then I'll ask him maybe to say just a few words. So so before Chief Dunn, there was a few police chiefs in between. So when Chief Dunn first got here, I was like, I hope he stays. And what we found is not only has he stayed, but he has been a committed partner. So first of all, he's someone who is very courageous. During the time where there was a lot of turnover in the city, I know they had an interim city manager, and at times I didn't know, okay, who could I go to when we had challenges, and what I found, and to be true, that I could always go to Chief Dunn, and always on any problem we worked together. I found also that sometimes when there is change, people don't want to step forward because they don't know if it's safe. But Chief Dunn has always, during some of the changes that happened through the city, has been there. And so that courage, and most recently, he put together a task force on his own, brought forward the different leaders from both Cal State Fullerton, from the high school district, from the colleges, and created a task force to say, what can we do as a city and as different organizations to better prepare for safety and emergency? And he's been leading the way early on, and he's called us together. He's also tremendously, talk about service. If you've ever seen him, he's everywhere. At any of our events, pre-pandemic, we used to have a Fullerton auction for our education from our Fullerton. He was there for that. I just found out that he's one of the board members for the Hope Center. If you've also been to any event, he's usually there at that event. He's also someone that is very humble. He didn't tell me this. I found this out from somebody else. But they were a little short-handed and needed to do some pressure washing at the station and to get it ready for, I'm assuming, some event. And there, somebody said, I saw him out there working with the pressure washer. And so you have somebody that's willing to put a hand in to serve and also to do it with a sense of humility. I personally, when we've had to work over the years, he's always been there. He's somebody who's given us his cell phone, somebody that literally is accessible at any moment, and somebody that I think we look at sometimes heroes in the world, and sometimes we look a lot of places, but one of the places that I see one of our local heroes is Chief Dunn. Please join me in a big round of applause for him.
So it's incredibly humbling to have someone of your caliber, sir, and to be in front of all of you, to have them say nice things about you. But I think I would tell you that you don't get to get these types of things or have a job that I have without the support of so many people. And really, it's the department that does the work. We are, in my opinion, and some may beg to differ, but in my opinion, we have the best police department you could ever hope for. We have a bunch of dedicated people who go out there every day and dedicate themselves to making sure you're safe, and the students are safe, and the faculties are safe. And I just get to be the person that shepherds them through that process right now. And so I'm forever grateful. I'm so thankful for this award. I can't thank you all enough for being here to even recognize me, and I look forward to our continued partnership as we continue this journey together. So thank you very much.
So go ahead and stay up here. We have one more.
All right. Well, it's my privilege and my honor to make another award tonight, to present another award. And this is our Above and Beyond Award. And this is an award that the district doesn't give very often, but it's for somebody who goes above and beyond, who does a little more. And you'll see why as I read the information. about Sergeant Eric Bridges. Sergeant Bridges, please come forward. All right, so now we're going to get to say a little bit about you, which I know you don't like, but get to do this a little bit here. So, Sergeant Bridges defines the spirit of the Above and Beyond Award. He is always available to respond to phone calls and text, or to call me with a phone call or a text, sometimes at 4 o'clock in the morning. And he will respond to the schools. He responds to our school district. He is always taking our calls. And not only does he take the calls, but he's eager to take the calls, which we appreciate. I've never once seen him be impatient or inconvenienced by being asked a question, by having someone call him. He does not get flustered. Furthermore, he always finds a way to support and help. And if he doesn't find a way immediately, he says, I will call you back, and I will find a way to support and help. You may not know this, but randomly, Sergeant Bridges will show up at schools. And he shows up, and he greets parents. He greets students, either at drop-off in the morning or in the afternoon at pickup time. And he'll lend a hand. He's just there to greet students and help parents. He's known for his welcoming smile, and rumored to also have the best fist bump in the entire city of Fullerton. He also, which is one of the most important things, highly respected by our students, by our staff, and by our parents. I've worked in many school districts. I've worked in a lot of cities. I've worked with city police departments, school district police departments, and I can say with the utmost confidence, you will not find a police officer, a sergeant, who is more deserving of the Above and Beyond Award than Sergeant Eric Bridges. And we have an award for you as well.
Thank you guys so much for everything that you do and how much you do it under the radar. Do they get a cupcake too? Thank you guys again. Thank you so much. Okay, I believe that's the end of our recognitions for this evening. We are going to move on to our superintendent's report. Dr. Pleka.
So just a few things. First of all, I'm really excited and thankful to the committee that participated in looking at our performing arts / gymnasium / EOCs plus. We'll come up with a name at some point. And we have people here from that committee representing. So thank you for taking time to do it. And I'm really excited about the possibility to be able to provide a facility to be able to honor and recognize some of the really outstanding programs and services that we provide kids. And so excited about that piece. And a big shout out also for, again, all our sports physical education that our PE teachers provide, lead, and recognize. So thank you. I want to take a moment to thank the board, potential board members that ran for office. So I want to thank Ruthie and Lisa and Rudy. And we believe in democracy. And we appreciate and we teach our kids that civic leadership is important. And we have 3 people that stepped forward that wanted to serve our community and our children. And it is a thankless job.
No. All you people thank us, right?
Yes.
Sometimes there are cupcakes.
They're cupcakes.
There are some left over. We're eyeballing those.
It really does speak of the type of community that we have here in Fullerton, that people want to come forward and serve and lead and guide our kids. And I, again, just want to also acknowledge that I think more so now than any time I remember, it is probably the most politically challenging time. And so it was especially difficult for all candidates. And just to say, we thank you. And so thank you, Lisa. And I know Ruthie, I've seen her everywhere. So thank Ruthie as well. And Rudy, I appreciate him doing that. So yeah, how about a round for all of them? And then I woke up so excited. Oh, no. One was the election was over, so that was one piece. But the part that made me super excited was, and I just speak as a superintendent of a school district who loves the arts and believes in the arts, it looks like Proposition 28 will pass. Yes. It looks like, yeah. I am really excited about the possibilities of what else we can do in the area of the arts. I'm going to say it, and I've been in 5 other districts. I have, as a part of the League of Innovative Schools, traveled across the country and seen elementary arts programs. I have been up and down the state. I chair a couple groups with superintendents groups from all over Southern California. There is no finer elementary arts program than the one we have in this district. Yeah. And I want to acknowledge, starting in preschool, we value the arts. In elementary and our partners, all the arts for all the kids. People like Wendy and Kelly that have stepped forward, and the entire board. For every arts teacher at our junior high, we have a program that we should be proud. Can we do more? And today I just want to say, I think we have an opportunity to do more in the area of arts. And while I believe that we're one of the best elementary arts districts in California, I believe that we could be one of the best in the country. We have great partners. We have great arts teachers. We have a great arts community that supports us. And so I'm going to challenge all of us to say, I'd like to not just look at our arts committee that's looking at the arts, and we receive some one-time money, but to really say, let's expand and create an arts committee that can look to the future to expand the services. And I'm going to say it this way, preschool through 8th grade. Preschool through 8th grade for the arts. And I would caution us all. This is the time where I've seen districts in other places, not here, where it's like people, like a district will get a money and people start talking about the money. Well, here's this money, and am I going to get this money, or is this person going to get the money? And what I want to say is, let's talk about our world-class vision. Let's talk about world-class experiences. Well, let's talk about world-class programs. Let's talk about world-class teachers that we have. Let's talk about the world-class, all the arts teachers that come in. And let's dream big. And let's put it down. Let's work together. And I want to commit, and I'm going to say this, I want to commit to helping be part of an arts committee that really sees and envisions a whole new set of opportunities and experiences for our children. And I know if this community and our staff and our parents and our beloved All the Arts for All the Kids Foundation, if we work together, we can do amazing things in this area. And so I look forward to working with you on this, and I look forward to seeing something that is sustainable for generations to come. So thanks, everybody.
Trustee Tucker?
Yes. I want to echo all of those comments. You know, it's not just about the candidates either, though. There's the spouse, partner, there's the friends. As everybody up here has run a campaign, it's a great experience, and you know, thank you for everybody that's run. So I had the opportunity to go to the Champions for Children, to stop by. We got to see some amazing dancing. We got to see community partners. We got to see our local police, local parents, local educators. Just a wonderful event. And I can't believe how many students won at our speech competition. This is just incredible. And every day I'm very thankful to be up here. So I'm looking forward to starting a new school year.
Thank you.
I too had a chance to visit the Champions for Children conference, and one of the sessions that I went to see was with the nutritionist and teaching everybody about all the food. And he was up there making, what's that you make with chickpeas?
Hummus.
Thank you. I knew you'd know that. And he was trying to tell the parents and the students all the different things. It was a great day, and everybody did such a great job of putting it together. A lot of work. The other item that was a highlight for me was the Nicholas visit with Congresswoman Young Kim. Nicholas just pulled out the red carpet. Actually, they did kind of have a red carpet with all the cheerleaders coming in. And we were able to visit the STEM class, and we visited the dance, and a lot of really great things going. And principal did such a nice job. That was a nice event. So,
thank you. All right. Okay. I'm so proud of this district, and I'm proud of just what you said with Prop 28. So I think that when we think about Fullerton School District and we talk about other school districts, as you said, around the state, around the county, and we think about what we're doing here, we are doing some great things for kids. And as you said, we can always get better, but there are things that when you talk about arts and you talk about how important that is for our students, that, you know, we all have stories, right? And I remember my 3rd grade son who had no confidence in the world, right? The arts and Laura Lynn Eschner sparked something in that kid that gave him the confidence that he needed when he needed it. And so arts is what helped him through days that might not have been so easy for him to come to school, being an introvert and doing that. So I think that when we look at the possibilities that this brings to us, and to be able to sit back and not just spend money, right? A lot of people are just going to spend money. Oh yeah, let's bring some, let's bring in some more. It's really, let's take a look, like you said, let's bring that group together to talk about what can we do for our students that's going to make a difference in their lives and how they look at school and what motivates them to come to school. Because a lot of our students, sometimes it's hard to get here. But they might come because they know that they're going to be being able to be engaged in arts or something, music. So again, it's so exciting to be able to walk alongside all the Arts Foundation and everybody else that brings this to our kids. I'm so excited about that, and I'm glad that I'll be here for a few more years in order to do that. So thank you. I'm thrilled that we were able to recognize our police department. That's this evening. It is so important for us to work together, and Lori's shaking her head, with our police and our safety, because every day we look in the newspaper and we see another thing happening in a school that makes the 2nd or 4th page now, right? That there are things that we just need to make sure that we're doing, and we need to make sure that we are collaborating with our safety, with our police station, with our police, to come together and really be able to create plans so that in case we ever do need them, so that our parents and our children feel safe where they're going to school. So thank you for that. Thanks to the entire community that put on the Champions of Learning sessions. Again, has anyone ever seen any other districts do that on a Saturday? Bring everyone together, offer classes to parents in the community. Not very many people give their time, give their weekends This community, this school district, pulling that together, everyone up here had a piece of that, everyone probably out there. So thank you for doing that, because it's so important for our parents to be able to be collaborators on helping their students. So I will make this short. So I think that's what I really wanted to say. Looking forward, looking forward to the next few. And again, thank you Lisa, Ruthie, and Rudy for stepping in and saying that you want to serve the community. It is something that we feel very, very strongly and is very important to be able to be part of this conversation. So, with that said, we did know we were losing a couple of board members this evening, so we're a little short, but we have enough people to make to vote. So
it's the mighty three.
It's
right?
the mighty three, small but mighty, right? That's my motto anyway. Okay, do we have anybody from DLAC this evening? Or do we have a report?
President Berryman, I'll be reading on behalf of DLAC. Good evening, President Berryman, school board members, executive cabinet, Superintendent Dr. Pleca, and all families present and those listening. As a DLAC committee, we are appreciative of the entire district for honoring the heritage of the Latino Hispanic community through the celebration of Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. We thank all of our administrators for incorporating diverse perspectives and traditions in their schools. We would like to acknowledge Champions for Learning for a fantastic event that offered so many resources for the community. The parents were so impressed with the great learning opportunities offered by our school district. Thank you to Dr. Lee and Dr. Soltero Ruiz for acknowledging the need to develop the capacity of our DLAC parents. We invite you to our next DLAC meeting scheduled for December 9th, 2022 at 9 a.m. at Valencia Park. Sincerely, Igles Nunzi, DLAC President.
Thank you. And just another kudos to the committee for what they do in the community. And if you see them out there, I know that they just attended, I believe, the Planning Commission meeting, advocating for a crossing guard. So, and I think was approved and it's going to the council. So their work with what they do and their advocacy for our children is marvelous. So thank you. PTA, is there anyone here this evening to report for PTA? Oh, there you are.
I always feel so short.
Good things come in small packages.
That's right. Okay. Good evening, President Berryman, board members, Dr. Pleca, and members of the cabinet. For those who don't know me, I'm Cindy Rivera, the president of the Fullerton PTA Council. The PTA Reflections art pieces have been submitted, and we will be announcing the winners who are moving on to the 4th District at our next PTA board meeting. Many attended the Fighting Fentanyl Together Education, Prevention, and Intervention conference that was hosted by the OCDE and the OC Sheriff's Department. It was very informative. It was just this last Friday, very eye-opening. So we have a lot of information that we would love to pass on. Dr. Pleca, I'll be meeting with you. So we'll go over all of that. Let's see, schools have begun collecting food and toys for the annual Pathways of Hope holiday drive. So I hope that everybody can help collect food and toys as well. That would be very helpful. Good news received just today is thanks to Joanne, the PTSA president at Sunny Hills High School. They have been selected and awarded a grant in the amount of $1,000 to facilitate meaningful conversations between teens and their caregivers about ways we can all work together to protect privacy, be safer, and support one another online. The goal of the program is to help families explore ways to foster positive relationships, navigate digital dilemmas, and build belonging in our digital world. So this is something that Ms. Joanne has applied for in representing Sunny Hills High School, and they were awarded. So this was a national award. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Congratulations. CSEA?
evening, President Berryman, Dr. Pletka, board members, and cabinet. I'm Sherry Williamson. I'm the CIPRO for CSEA, here to report. This month, CSEA worked with FETA, FESMA, and Dr. Hammett on the PAL Refresher event held on October 12th. It was totally collaborative, and I think it went fabulously. Thank you for that team. The same team is currently working on our PAL retreat to be held March 8th in Brea. We participated in the EOC committee meetings with Dr. Coughlin, admins, FETA, teachers, and community members on the recommendation for the EOC going forward tonight. CSEA members voted and passed the tentative agreement. We thank the negotiations team, the cabinet, and our LRR, Tiffany Lopez, for a successful negotiation session. Excuse me. We recommended community member and FSD parent at Parks, Sarah Kelman, as the CSEA appointed member of the Personnel Commission. That's on the agenda tonight. Sarah fills the position vacated by Anita Varela when she retired. We'd like to thank Anita for her service on the PC Commission. Our chapter constitution updates were recently approved to allow CSEA to hold chapter meetings on Zoom again. We're excited about that. We have a lot more attendance this way. It's easier for members to attend over Zoom if they have kids and that sort of thing. Finally, CSEA would like to wish the board, cabinet, staff, and students a relaxing Thanksgiving break later this month. Thank you.
Thank you. Vida.
Thought better I would have had one of the students do my speech tonight, but I didn't think that far ahead. Good evening, President Berryman, cabinet members, board members. Appreciate you being here. It has been a busy month for everyone. Lisa, Ruthie, Rudy, all the board members, all of you guys. There's been so many events that have been amazing. So first, I cannot tell you how privileged I am to be able to visit the amazing schools in our district. I have been at these school sites before, way back when, but there are so many changes now. I was able to visit 3 schools since the last board meeting. Beechwood Elementary School was for me a sentimental journey as I walked the campus. My son, who is now 22, attended Beechwood from 1st to 4th grade before going to Commonwealth for 5th and 6th grade. Brilliant and talented teachers in action once again. Christine Lee, Chris Gilstrap, Katie Allen, Marissa Sunny. All the students were so engaged in their work, whether it was language arts, math, making posters, or writing. Today I went to Fern and then Woodcrest. At both sites, I had tours by the teachers. Julie Sanchez was able to show me around while her students were at PE. I got so many wonderful ideas for my own kindergarten class. That's the best part ever. And Clara Colemansberger was my tour guide at Woodcrest. She brought me into every single classroom except the one with a sub. So it was general ed, special ed, RTI, everybody. And she made sure that I knew how amazing each and every one of those teachers was. So it was really fun. The best part at all the schools is seeing the way the students work with their teachers and the variety of strategies used in the classrooms. I was able to stop by the Pumpkin Run to take pictures and say hello to students. I have pictures of Bev and you guys. Sent it to Chad. Hopefully he passed it along. It was a huge and well-organized gathering. Bargaining is over. The tentative agreement has passed. We are grateful for this ability to bargain as a union. Dr. Pletka, myself, and representatives from various schools had a great conversation around the table with coffee and pastries. Thank you, Anna, for getting that organized. It was well received. It was a valuable hour and a half. The participants felt heard, and we appreciate the time and the results of the conversations we have already seen. We look forward to more conversations with a new variety of participants very soon. Dr. Hammett and I are gathering information and meeting on ways to support teachers with challenging behaviors. Not the teachers, the students. This year seems to have more concerns than ever. We appreciate continued conversations regarding community schools with Dr. Lee and Dr. Hammett. We are looking forward to being involved with making this another successful endeavor for our district. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Fesma.
I'll be reading. Yep. Good evening, President Berryman, Board, Dr. Pleka, and Executive Cabinet. We are excited to begin the process for every Student Succeeding Award nominees this month at each school site. We look forward to the award ceremony at Ladera Vista in January. Thank you all for your support. Laura Makeley.
Thank you. All right. Now we're going to move on to public comments. I do have a public comment, but I don't know if it is speaking to an item on the agenda. So Mark Anderson, is it for an item on the agenda or just in general? In general. Oh, come on up. I'm going to just read while you're walking up here. I don't think I forgot to read this last time. The board meeting follows rules of decorum per board policy 9323. Persons who wish to comment on topics included on the open session agenda are invited to attend in person and submit your public comment. The board limits the total time for public comment input on each item to 20 minutes. The total time allotted for public comment should be 30 minutes. Public comments about an item that is not on the agenda will be heard at the time the agenda item is considered by the board. Public comments on an item that's not posted on the agenda will be heard at the beginning of open session when called upon by the board president. No action or discussion may take place on an item that is not on the posted agenda except as expressly authorized by law. Since the board cannot take actions on the agenda items, such items will be referred to the superintendent for handling. Board members may request that any item be placed on a future agenda for future discussion. The board president and the superintendent will determine the best time to place that item on the agenda. With that said, Mark Anderson.
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you to Phil Ling and Sung Chi, who are leading the arts education focus groups. The meetings and collaboration activities have been very informative and engaging and expertly facilitated. They're great. I'm also thrilled to hear Dr. Pleka and the board's comments and commitment to the expansion of the arts and your joy of the passing of Prop 28. But you did ask. You said, what else? So I'm here tonight to continue to support and advocate for the investment in music in all of the schools, specifically with the goal of one day having credentialed music teachers dedicated to every elementary school, serving all students, especially those youngest that we serve, preschool to 6th grade. I know we have excellent programs in our middle schools, and we have excellent programs, but going forward, what else can we do, especially for those youngest learners? Music helps us retain words and expressions much more effectively. The rhythm of the music, as well as the repetitive patterns within the song, helps us to memorize words. Bilingual children, in particular, can benefit from singing songs in their second language. But why does music help with new language acquisition for infants through adults? The answer is simple. It provides a fluid way to process sounds that your brain automatically enjoys. When you sit down and open a textbook that features another language, or even put on headphones to mimic pronunciation, you are contriving a learning mode. Rather, when you simply turn on music featuring a different language, you are hearing it used lyrically. And even if you really cannot understand what is being said, you are absorbing some of it within the context. So with the recent passing of Prop 28, this is excellent timing to collect this information from parents, teachers, and community arts advocates. I would like to see a little more focus on what students are interested in, turn into students, and what do they want to see us invest in the arts, because really that's what it's all about, is what the students want. We're excited to continue these meetings and hopeful that the outcome will lead to more arts and music experiences for all students. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you for your comment. I did want to let you know that there is an item on our agenda this evening that expands our music area. So thank you. Okay. Moving on to approving our minutes from our last meeting.
I move to approve the regular meeting of October 11th. Thank you.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes from the October 11th meeting. Any comments or anything? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right. Approval of the agenda as it has been presented.
I'll move to approve the agenda as it's presented.
I'll second.
See, we can only have one of you guys doing this, right? Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the agenda for this evening. Any other questions? Anything else? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Our consent agenda. We have a motion to approve it, and then we can talk about and see if there's anything that anyone wants to pull or just comment on.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda as it is. Anyone have anything you guys want to talk about?
I'd like you to pull up KK, item KK, kind of talking about the arts. This was a very exciting thing that's going on at Maple. To read through what he's written a grant, and he's received the grant to do the murals all through the ecosystems at Maple School. What a great thing! Kudos to him.
I believe they have a big anniversary coming up this next year, and so they're doing some prep in anticipation. I believe it's the 100th.
100 years. They don't look a day after over 50.
Do we want to, in honor of Hilda, do we want to pull
No.
up the donors?
No. Not unless you do.
While we're doing that, I guess I just wanted to highlight that we have these ongoing relationships with our local teaching colleges, and we value and honor these opportunities, and I'm glad that we're a district that these universities want to continue working with.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, I was we made mention of Sarah Kelman joining as a personnel commissioner, so that's exciting. Just a couple of other things. I know that we had some items on here about our community schools. Do you want to say anything, Dr. Lee? Just we're approving our contract with the services that go along with our community school concept.
Yes, yes. Our community grant entails 4 pillars, one being to address the needs of medical and physical health of students. And these 3 items will help support that pillar. One being to address immediate physical health needs through our partnership with St. Jude Providence. The other 2 are open POs, which means that we will be able to provide basic prescription services, so medication to students through our partnerships. And this will be a game changer for students that are needing the immediate care. So in support of the 6 schools that outlined in the grant, which we reported on last board meeting, but just for those who are coming in now, we were awarded $7.8 million for over 5 years to be able to better serve our community.
Thank you so much. I just think that that's so wonderful that we're going to be able to do that. And then offering eye exams to preschool students, going down
Yes.
as far as preschool students. Again, again, we all have our stories, right? I didn't know my son needed glasses until he got into the 3rd grade. So I'm so glad that, and that was from an exam at school. Oh, you can't see? Just like, oh, you can't. Never mind. So I'm so happy to see that. All of our we parents need a little help sometimes. So thank you very much. Okay. So anybody else with any other items? All right. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda?
Aye.
Say aye.
Right.
Okay.
President Berryman, I did ask for the security camera footage MOU to be pushed off for one meeting. I didn't hear back from any community members, but just in light of heightened security concerns and the police department really only using the footage on a need-to-know basis, and Jeremy working out a system to know who is accessing the footage and when, I feel comfortable moving forward with this. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Okay. Moving on to our discussion items. Item A. Oh, Jeremy Davis.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, so that MOU that was just mentioned by Board Member Tukur, that is item A. And what we did was we worked with our legal counsel to write a memorandum of understanding that would work with the Fullerton Police Department in order to give them access, pretty much instant access to our security cameras that are now at every single site in case of emergency. So we worked with Fullerton PD. They had some concerns. We worked through all those. I think the city attorney was surprised that I just said yes to everything he suggested. I think he thought he left something on the table there, because I just said, yeah, those are great. Thank you so much. This is perfect. So we were all in agreement. So if this passes tonight, we can go ahead and sign them. We'll get it over to them, and they can take care of signing on their end. And then we'll have our system worked out with them so they can have access during times of emergency.
Perfect. Okay. Rooney, would you like to do this
Well,
one?
I guess I just jumped ahead on that. But in any event, I'd like to move to approve the FSD FPD MOU for security camera footage access.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the new MOU for the school district and the city of Fullerton on the security cameras. Right, any other questions, anything? All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, any opposed? No? All right. Title I programs, revised board policy. Dr. Hammett?
Yes, good evening. This evening, we are bringing back our board policy 6171 regarding Title I programs. At our last meeting on October 11th, we did a first reading of some changes to that as a result of changes to both federal and state law. And there were no comments or suggested changes received, so we're bringing this item back tonight for the board's consideration.
Perfect. Okay.
I move to approve the revised board policy 6171 Title I programs.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the revised board policy 6171 Title I programs. Any other questions, anybody? All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, passes. All right. Who's our uniform, what are those abbreviations, the CUPTA?
Cupcake.
Cupcake?
Well, Cupca.
Sorry, I just, squirrel. Sorry.
Squirrel.
It's been a long day.
So, President Berryman, board,
about cupcakes.
Dr. Pletka, cabinet, and guests. At our October 11th board meeting, we did a presentation on CUPCA, which is the California Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act, which is utilized by over 50% of the districts in California as a method for securing bids for construction projects. And so what the board is being asked to approve is the resolution to move forward with that.
Okay. Anyone have anything you want to discuss on that one?
No, I think it's exciting, especially with the fact that we're looking at some community schools that we have a more streamlined process.
Right, absolutely.
Thank you for taking care of this, Dr. Copeland.
All right, okay. Do we have a motion?
I'll move to approve the cupcake resolution.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion to approve Resolution 22/23-11, California Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Procedures for Fullerton School District and for Public Works Projects. Right? Anybody else have any comments about our lovely cupcakes? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Thank you for your work on that one. All right. Item D.
Okay, for IMD, I'm going to have a few people
Yes.
come on over this way. I'm going to have our
looking forward
architect
to
come up,
this.
and people that are going to be speaking, you can be ready to go. Board President, Berryman, board members, Dr. Pletka, cabinet, and guests. This is not a new item to the board. We've been talking about this for a few months, and what has taken place over the last 2 months is we did put together a committee, and some of those committee members are here tonight. They're going to speak on this. To look at, again, we need to get a name for this. Are they performing arts
Not the
theaters? Are
box?
they gyms, cubes, boxes, buildings? But what would they look like? And so tonight, there are two items, D and E, where we're asking the board to approve architectural services with PBK to begin the process, to start to put some plans together of what these two buildings would look like at the different schools. Tonight, I do have from PBK Architects, Yang Yu is here to go over a brief presentation, kind of give the board a little very preliminary look of what they could look like. And then after that, I'd like to have some of the committee members speak a little bit about what we did in our meetings and if they're looking forward to this or not. I think they're looking forward to it. And then we'll answer any questions that you have. Just to let everyone know, so what the board is being asked to approve tonight is it's phase one of multi-phases of architectural plans and for the gymnasiums. There'll be many other things that the board is going to take action on and be asked to vote on. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Yang Yu. He is the principal architect with PBK Architects.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Yang Yu from PBK. We're honored to be here and be a part of this project. And some of the images that we're going to show were, of course, inspired by all the meetings that were had and sort of the consensus on what kinds of program pieces would go into those buildings. And so they're very preliminary in a sense that we just want to kind of give you a little glimpse, a little taste of what could be in those buildings. So, do we have a clicker? I think do we just. Okay, that's a little bit about us. You don't care about that. Let's get to the images. Yeah. You'll see here, and we have two floor plans, of course, for Nicholas and also for Parks. And of course, we have to put the logo in the center of the basketball court, of course, to kind of give that identity. But just to walk you through some of the ideas that we have here in the floor plan, we have, of course, a regulation size basketball court. It's an 84 by 50 full size with bleachers on one side that can retract and come back so that we can make room for, if it's a practice situation, we have 4 courts that are 90 degrees turned of the main courts that you can have more practice courts available to the school. And on the other side of that, we would have a platform. We call it a platform for DSA purposes because that's what they want to be called instead of stages, but the way that it would be utilized is a stage. And so you would have approach in the front of it, but also the back portion of the stage. And then the support spaces that go off of that in sort of that little orangish kind of color that you see there. You have, or potentially could be dressing rooms or workrooms in the back portion to the right, and then a storage room on the left side with the double doors. Now, the rooms that are shown on the right side, there is a wall there to divide it into 2, but it could easily become 1 room with maybe a partition. So there's a flexibility that we could talk about if that's something that is desired. And along with those, of course, there are the supporting spaces that go with that. We need to have the restrooms, men's and women's, that are on the far left corner at the top. And then on the right side is the sort of it's a utility room where it's you need for a building, and those are mechanical, plumbing and those kinds of things. And as part of that stage platform area, we do have a lift on the right next to the left staircase. You'll see that there's a number there. That's the lift that will allow someone in a wheelchair to be able to get up to that level. And so we would provide that as well for this gymnasium, engagement center / gymnasium. Sorry. This is a rendering of the exterior. Yes, please.
Don't forget the performing arts part
performing
of that.
arts component, yes.
It's like a multi-purpose room.
Multi, a lot of multis in there, yes. So this is a view of the exterior elevation of the Q building that we utilize. We're talking about entrances on both sides, and I think the orientation, depending on the site, that could be determined to provide some sort of maybe front patio space in front of that, make it a little nicer as you're approaching that building and as you're entering. So that we also have, of course, an opportunity to put the logo and just to mark the entrance to those. This is a section of the building, and a section, for those that don't know, it's sort of if you're cutting the building and kind of looking at the side of the building through the building. I know it's a little weird looking through the building, but you can see how on one side, the bottom one, you can see the view of if you were sitting at the bleachers and looking across the basketball court and onto the stage opening on the other side of it. And then, okay, we'll move forward. But the other one is showing it cut out the other way, where you see the bleachers on the left side, and then the basketball court would be in the middle, and then the right side is where the elevated platform stage section is. Okay, thank you. And this is the site plan for Nicholas, where you would, the yellowish color on the upper left is the proposed location currently with added parking and and in the red dash line that you see around there, that is the proposed area of work, just to kind of outline what's going on there. Okay. And this is parked, and it's very similar, and a lot of the same components. Now, of course, there could be some variation depending on if the site needs one thing versus another. It could be customized slightly to accommodate that. But thank you for your time.
So, and we can show the parks location of where that one is. I believe that's up there, where that would be with parking. So there is additional parking because we know there will be events at night, and so a need for parking, and so that is available. The challenge is it really is a box. It's a cube. It's 100 feet by 100 feet, and we're buying the box, and what we do inside the box and outside of the box, we have some choices and some say. And so, for the most part, it was, getting the committee we had a committee of 23 members, and I've included their names, and they couldn't all be here tonight. But we had 23 members from a pretty wide range, and there was a lot of great ideas. We put everybody together, and I said, I don't want you to don't think about the money. Just think about what do you want? What could you do? The challenge is you had the PE folks saying, we want this. You had then performing arts, well, we want this. And it really is it's a shared space. And if we could have two of these, at each site we would do two, but we are somewhat limited. I would like to have some people come up in any order, however you want to go. Matt, you want to go first, or Wendy, however you want to do it. Want to go this way? Talk a little bit about how this would impact them, help them, at their site or their program.
Thank you, Dr. Rob. Good evening, Board President Berryman, Board of Trustees, Dr. Pletka, Executive Cabinet. My name is Matthew Stricker. This marks my 22nd year as a teacher in the Fullerton School District and my 18th year at Parks Junior High. Thanks for the opportunity to speak this evening. The construction of this building would be a game changer for our school community. It would serve as an indoor event center that could benefit our student body as a gathering space for school assemblies and other events. Parks does not have a multi-purpose room or a cafeteria. Currently, our indoor facility, a large classroom, can accommodate an approximate maximum of just 100 people. Parks boasts incredible instrumental and choral music programs, which we'll speak of, and it'd be great for them to have a space for the musicians to show their talents and for the audiences to see them perform. An engagement center would also provide an additional layer of safety for our school and the surrounding community by functioning as a shelter-in-place facility in the event of a natural disaster. It would act as a meeting facility for our parent community in which to hold parent education nights, PTSA, ELAC meetings, and other meetings whose attendance exceeds current room capacity at Parks, and additionally could serve community organizations as a space for evening and weekend functions. On a personal note, as a physical education teacher, I've seen an increase of days in the school year when PE classes are forced indoors due to inclement weather conditions, be it rain, excessive heat, or even poor air quality. Having a space for PE classes to meet and still have the opportunity to implement physical fitness activities would support our efforts to provide quality physical education options for our students, even when outdoor activities are not available. And finally, I've also served as one of the head basketball coaches at Parks since 2005. Preparing student athletes to compete at a high level is a difficult task to complete on outdoor courts. The risk of injury is heightened. Elements like wind, rain, and even heat come into play. I've spent too many hours of my life sweeping debris like leaves, dirt, and even glass off of our blacktop so that we can have practice or even host a basketball game against another school. I don't think I need to detail how a project like this would completely transform and benefit our after-school sports program. From our coaches to our student athletes and their families, all while enhancing school spirit, giving our campus an even greater sense of community. I know I'm out of time, so on behalf of my colleagues at Parks and our entire school community, thank you for your ongoing support of this project, and thank you for your continued support of our students and families in the Fullerton School Districts.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Genesis Melendres. I am one of the assistant principals at Parks. Today I will be speaking on behalf of, I'll be reading a statement on behalf of Mrs. Melissa Martinez and our Performing Arts Department at Parks. Throughout the past several weeks, I have attended the meetings regarding the proposed community engagement centers at both Parks and Nicholas Junior High schools. I am a strong supporter of these facilities as we have a major need for them at both school sites. As a veteran teacher at Parks Junior High, I have taught performing arts classes for 19 years. Our only multi-purpose room is a classroom, serving all of the instrumental, choir, and dance classes throughout the day. This setting is not conducive to fitting large audiences for performances due to its size, plus all of the furniture, instruments, and teaching material housed in the music room. We lack a space for our performing arts students to use on campus for their concerts and events. I am also a strong supporter of these facilities for PE teachers and coaches. As a former PE teacher, I understand the need for an indoor space to be used for different activities, lessons, and sporting events. Having the ability to host basketball and volleyball games indoors on an actual court is beneficial to our athletes, coaches, and the fans and supporters. Also, being able to utilize this indoor space will allow PE classes to operate on rainy days, hot temperature days, bad air quality days, etc., as well as on normal basis during various PE units. Our entire school community will also greatly benefit from this facility as it can be used in multiple ways. It can be a safe haven for emergencies or drills, a space for staff meetings, a place for students to go during lunch on rainy days, hot temperature days, bad air quality days. Currently, our classrooms and lunch schedules are disrupted with any of these abnormal weather conditions. The community engagement centers will truly serve as multi-purpose spaces for their entire school community, and we will all strongly benefit from their addition to our campus. Thank you for your support and your consideration.
Hello again, everyone. President Berryman, Dr. Pleka, Cabinet, board members. Again, my name is Sherry Williamson. I am an All the Arts for All the Kids Foundation board member, a Parks staff member, and a Parks parent, as well as a CSEA board member, and I was thrilled to serve on this committee. I would personally like to support moving forward with the EOC plan. Currently, Parks and Nicholas have no multi-purpose rooms, no gym, no inside location for arts performances, or housing students on rainy or excessive heat days. Critically, Parks and Nicholas have no indoor location sufficient to house students in the case of a major emergency. Do the proposed buildings provide 100% of the dream wish list for staff and students at these sites? No, there's not enough funds for that. But these facilities would provide a gym, a performance stage, and room for audience seating, a space for emergency housing, and an equity among the junior highs in the district. I'd like to add, I'm the tech at Parks, and when PE has to come inside, they have to cram their entire class into the media center. They try to do work on student iPads, but 60 kids in a room trying to access the internet is pretty tough. The PE teachers, they are super sports about it, to kind of make a pun in there, but this would really this would really benefit Parks for sure, and Nicholas. I used to be a tech at Nicholas too, and I would really love for this EOC plan to go forward. Thank you.
A little more informally, hello everyone. I'm Wendy Lloyd Davis. I am the president now for All the Arts for All the Kids Foundation. There is a 100% backing from our foundation on getting this Performing Arts Center built. I was the one who came up with the question, is it a gym that's being treated as a performing arts center, or is it a performing arts center that is sometimes used as a gym? And that is where our foundation really truly wants to focus. We want to make sure that this does appear to be and have everything necessary for a true performing arts center. And the only difficult that we had was going over the budget, because we have that magical money of $7.4 million coming down as at one time, spend it in 2 years. The Arts Music, that's the name of it, the Arts Music Instructional Materials Grant. We've never had this before. And so 100%, all of us support these Performing Arts Center, but when you're taking $7.4 million and assuming they're using about 2/3 of that, the question is, what are we not giving our kids because of that? This is a one-time money. I know Proposition 28's coming down, maybe a bond, but this is money we have in hand right now. And I know we had our Fullerton String Orchestra. We had kids who still had no instruments, so that was our foundation, went out and bought instruments for any child who needed it. The last time we got money was like 12, I think, years ago, at this $300,000. Laurelyn was just ecstatic. It was the biggest money she'd ever seen, and we spent the entire thing on instruments. I want to make sure that the money is still there for our kids. We have every chance to make this a truly world-known, this is how you do it. All of these districts are going to be getting money from the prop, and it's, watch us. Watch how we can do this, and we will show you. So my request, as far as the foundation is concerned, is to protect that arts money as much as possible, because we may not see this again, and we have an opportunity to truly make this everything that this whole evening feels like it's been about the arts, and I know the district supports us. Phil, the whole group that has been created to support arts education for all the kids. So that is our hope, that you'll save us some money and let us buy instruments and do what we truly want to do. Clay labs, mosaic labs, get the buses going and bring more arts to more kids.
Ms. Lloyd Davis, may I just follow up? I'm sorry. Just to be specifically clear, you're saying don't spend it all on the centers, keep some left over for bells and whistles and instruments afterward?
Looking at the budget and the way that Dr. Coughlin kind of went through it, there's a $7.4 million that was given to the district, and it's proposed to use about $5 million of that. 2/3 of the budget. Yes, I'm astounded that we don't have performing arts centers, or I had no idea. How can you not have a multipurpose room? Those are not extras. Those are things that should have happened anyway. So we're getting this money. My goal is to make sure that it is spent as wisely as it could. Suggestion to maybe use the arts money last and see if some of the money in the budget comes from somewhere else first, because we may not be able to have this money again. And that's it. So thank you.
Thank you.
So I wanted to share, this was not rehearsed, as you can tell. But I wanted to share with you the committee. I really appreciated the committee coming together, because it was 23 voices in the room, and there was not one voice in that room that said, this is a bad idea. You know, this is everyone understands it, and everybody has their niche, their thing. And so the funding of these, and it's multi-funded using one-time funds from different pots. There's a plan with that. That plans change too. This is a process that's going to take 12 months to 18 months, and we know the way the state of California works with funding, and so I do appreciate the comments there. Basically, the arts are saying if it's at all possible, if kind of use that money last. We're not going to be spending all of the money right up front. But did want to share with you kind of the flavor of the committee, and the flavor was this is a good thing moving forward. So with that, the architect is here. So there's 2 items, and again, there's different phases. There's 6 phases of architecture plans that go through, and for each of the phase, the board would be asked to approve those. Phase 1's being paid for out of developer fees to complete phase 1. And with that, if there are any questions for the architect or myself, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Is there a similar building that we could go visit?
There are some, and yes, and we can find out. We could love a little field trip. Sure, there was one up in. It was Walnut. I know Walnut was similar. We went and saw one. It was the one up in Walnut. And then there's some Diamond Bar. There's some a little farther away. They're all going to be different. And I guarantee you there will be none that will look exactly like what we want, because, again, inside of the box you get to design it. But give you an idea of it.
Do we need to, at what point, I'm sure you guys will handle this, but at what point would we need to start alerting neighbors so that there's no pushback, litigation?
So there is a process, a CEQA process, that we would go through where the community is made aware of this. Community has the ability to come forward and talk on that. That's a little bit down the road.
So the location of, where you saw it on the site plan, they're not neighboring directly right next to neighbors. They're on the street side of the school, so that helps a little bit to mitigate some of that impact to the site.
So tonight, we're just approving the concept as opposed to any of the details.
So what you're approving tonight, you're approving PBK to move forward with the programming schematic design. And the architects through this whole process, they work with the school sites, they work with the site administration and leadership at the school, the teachers there to gather input. So you're approving phase 1 of the architecture plans for Nicholas, phase 1 for Parks.
And will you keep us posted on everything as it's going? Because we obviously have a couple members that probably would want to be part of the conversation as well. So I know that this is just the beginning, and we look forward to you keeping us in the loop and offering any opportunities to see something already there so we can kind of visualize it.
Correct. And I'll kind of put Yang on the spot here. So phase 1, typically how long does phase 1 take before you're then moving on to phase 2?
So phase 1 that we call schematic design is the initial sort of meeting with the site, meeting with the relevant groups that would have some constituency into the So it gets a little tougher if we start in the holiday season to get people together and all of that, to get those meetings going. But usually it would take anywhere from a month and a half to 2 months to gather and to do that first phase. So of course, the sooner we can meet and get all of that sort of hashed out, the quicker we can move with that phase of it.
Thank you. Okay. So is there a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve the architectural services of PBK for phase 1 for Nicholas.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved that we approve the architectural services with PBK to prepare phase 1 drawings for a multi-purpose room at Nicholas Junior High. Anything else? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Parks.
And then I'll move to approve the architectural services of PBK phase 1 for Parks.
I'll second. Sorry, I was just imagining.
You're imagining
the box.
I totally was lost in a moment because I went to Nicholas, and it's such an honor to be able to vote on something like this. So, sorry. I second the Parks thing too, yes.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the architectural services for PBK to prepare phase 1 drawings for the same center at Parks Junior High. Anybody else? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And we look forward to the updates and being able to see this come to fruition and providing somewhere for our kids to go and to perform and to do other things. All right, Dr. Hammett.
Yes, I'll be bringing item F to you this evening. We are pleased to bring to you the tentative agreement between the Fullerton School District and the Fullerton Elementary Teachers Association. This brings to a close our 2022-2023 negotiations and provides for a salary increase for our teachers, an increase to the benefits cap, and a few other small language changes to the contracts. And we're grateful to the FETA team and the collaborative process we were able to reach through the negotiations and the hard work of their lead negotiator, Pamela Zanell. Thank you, Pamela.
Okay. Okay. Is there a motion to approve or ratify the tentative agreement?
I'll make a motion to approve, ratify the 2022-2023 tentative agreement, FETA.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the tentative agreement for FETA effective July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. And then we'll start all over again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
Anybody else? Again, I echo the fact that, this takes a while to get through, and very proud of our district being able to come together, everyone working at the same table to try and hash through this. So again, you see all the horror stories out there, things that, everyone comes to our table and respects one another, and make sure that we work through it so that we can move on. So all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next one.
Our next item is item G, which is the tentative agreement with the California School Employees and the Fullerton School District for the 2022-2023 negotiations. I would really like to thank the CSEA team and for all of their hard work and ability to come together and discuss hard issues. Tanya Balek, as their lead negotiator, did a great job, and we're pleased to present this to you tonight with increases to salary, increase to the benefits cap, and a few small language changes.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve ratify the tentative agreement between California School Employees, CSEA.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we ratify the tentative agreement for CSEA and the Fullerton School District, same period of time, July 1, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. Anybody else have any comments? All right, again, echo that. Thank you guys all for working together and making this happen. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. You're still up there. I've got some more.
I've got some more. Hits keep on coming. All right, and I have item H. So this is the item that would bring the Me Too for the management group. This would include all of our classified and certificated management employees, our confidential employees, who are the employees who aren't management but who are not considered part of the bargaining units, and our cabinet. And this includes that they would receive the same salary increase and changes to the benefits provisions.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the salary increase for the administrative team. I know there's a more specific term, but
Second.
Okay.
I
It's been,
move to approve and ratify the 2022-2023 tentative agreement between FSD and, oh no, that's the wrong one.
no, I'll do it.
Thanks.
Approve and ratify compensation adjustments for the Fullerton School District's management group, including confidential employees, superintendent, assistant superintendent, business services, associate superintendent, educational services, assistant superintendent, innovation and instructional support, and the associate superintendent for human resources for the 2022-2023 school year, effective July 1, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. Okay. Anybody has?
I'll second that.
Second. Well, okay. It's been seconded.
Okay.
All right. All those in, no one has any more comments. It's a lot of words. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? All right. All right. We're still kicking. You're still up there.
I'm still here.
Keep going.
Item I is a memorandum of understanding between the Fullerton School District and FETA, the Fullerton Elementary Teachers Association. As you work through contract negotiations, you always find an article that may need some slight adjustment. We have a provision where teachers at the junior high, if they teach during their prep period, they receive some additional pay because they're teaching students instead of being able to access their prep period to prepare for their periods of classes or grade papers. That amount had been a flat amount, and every time we would negotiate, we would readjust that because we had to deal with a increase in the hourly rate of pay and the amount of time that teachers would spend working through their prep period. So we've made the language tied to the teacher hourly rate at a percent of the teacher hourly rate. So every year we'll automatically adjust if there's a salary increase negotiated.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that was well needed. I'll move to approve the memorandum of understanding with the Fullerton Elementary Teachers Association, extra pay for junior high or 6 through 8 teachers who teach during their prep piece. Congratulations.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this MOU for extra pay for junior high or 6 through 8 teachers who teach during their prep period. Right? Anybody have any comments? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right. Last
All right.
item on this section?
Yes, back again. All right, so we have one other item tonight. We're asking the board to approve some assignments, what's called a new committee on assignment recommendation. At some of our K-8 schools particularly, we have a limited number of teachers, but those teachers have specialized skills and abilities that can be used for prep periods. And we like to offer a diverse number of prep periods at our K-8 schools. So tonight we're bringing forward 3 committee on assignments for teachers who are teaching classes that are elective classes that have the skills and abilities, but don't hold the credential, and the board has the ability to authorize them to teach those and be compliant with the credentialing requirements.
I'd like to make the motion because I think this is going to be my last motion. I'd like to move to approve the new committee on assignment recommendations for the 2022-23 school year.
Second.
Oh no, Beverly.
It's been moved by Jenny Meyer to approve the new committee on special assignment recommendations for the 2022-2023 school year. Anybody have any comments? All right. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Thank you, Jenny. And I'm not going to cry right now.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay. Administrative reports. I'm going to make up something just so you have to vote on it next time. I think you could vote on something.
The first one is the first read on Board Policy 3311.1, California Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Procedures. The board approved that resolution. There is a board policy that needs to accompany that. So tonight is just the first read on that.
Thank you.
The next item we have is item B, and this is the first read on board policy 5141, healthcare and emergencies. This board policy was in need of some updates due to changes in state laws. The most significant update to this is it authorizes the placement of AEDs, which are devices that would be utilized in event of a student or staff member having a heart issue, and it can provide a shock that actually restarts the individual's heart. So we'll be looking at moving to get some of those placed in our schools, especially our junior highs and K-8s, where we have our more robust PE programs and our intramural sports programs. So this is a first read. If you see anything that you'd like to see changed or modified, please let us know.
We will. Okay, thank you.
All right. Next item, item C, is the first read on board policy 5141.21. This is administering medication and monitoring health conditions. This is another board item that needed some updating. As times have changed and healthcare needs have changed, there's some changes to this. Most significantly, though, there is a provision that would allow our schools to carry what's commonly known as Narcan or naloxone, which is a drug that's utilized to counteract the effects of opiate overdose. We want to make sure that our schools really are a hub in the community. We not only have the students that we work with that are part of our district, but we very often will see students from the community, older students, and a variety of community members, and we want to make sure that we have this available at our schools in case it's needed, both during the school day and in our after-school programs.
Thank you. All right. And then independent study.
Yes. So this is the first read on the independent study board policy. There were some changes made in the final signing of the budget cleanup, budget trailer bills. And so as this was reviewed with that final cleanup language, there were some changes that needed to be made so that we could ensure that we are able to receive full funding for our independent study programs.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So if anyone has any changes for those, just get them back you, and then you'll communicate that to us before the next meeting.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Okay. With that said, any items for future meetings? Okay. Then I will adjourn, our next meeting is Tuesday, back to Tuesday, December 13th, and we will adjourn.